not only traumatized, is even, a direct victim, because for your information, you have heard the ambulances have been attacked, the staff members taken hostage, because we will be a bit free from dating cases of gunshot, threats from both ends.
The economy of the region grinding to ruin. The English-speaking northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon for close to 3 years now have been observing the regular ghost town, with other days locked down, boycotts of schools with gunshots echoing to the night as the defense forces tackle separatist fighters.
During this crisis, really, even us health personnel have faced a lot of challenges coming to work, handling victims, seeing people all the times in agony. It has really been very, very difficult for us. And we do pray that peace, which is priceless, should return.
Prime Minister Chief Dion Ngote, in his maiden visit to the Northwest region before moving to the Southwest, has delivered President Biya's message with regards to the current impasse. He has made a significant move towards breaking the deadlock, meeting people of all walks of life, talking in one word.
He has told me to reassure them that the dialogue they have been asking for, it is true he has been dialoguing with them through his institutions, through his ministers, through many other channels. They should leave the bushes. They should come, drop their arms, come to the centers that he has created to receive them, to give them free food, free clothing, so that they can go through the process of reintegrating normal life.
To go by the opinion of the population of the Northwest region, everybody wants the crisis to end.
He actually went to the field, and to where the concern, the people, the target, the audience, those who actually need to talk.
The Prime Minister acted like a man of faith. He came to Bamenda and showed himself, make himself to somebody who can be easily approachable.
Yeah, most certainly, because the president has said he's prepared for dialogue, he wants to talk, and he's putting things in place for that. But the only thing is, he doesn't want to talk secession. While the UN Security Council met the other day and they said the root causes of the issue should be attended to, and all of us know the root cause of the problem.
At least some people will really stand for really any work of work with that kind way they work and inside Amoka then do the threaten people. We work like man, salute people, but that one at least we look that way some way.
So everybody should contribute in ending the senseless crisis.
The population of Tiko and Buea turned out massively to give a hilarious welcome to the Prime Minister, Chief Dr. Dion Ngote, who is on a 4-day peace and confidence building mission in the Southwest region. The Prime Minister was received at the Mungo Bridge by a cross-section of top administrative and traditional authorities of the region. The chiefs of the Southwest were given the opportunity to welcome one of theirs, an illustrious son from Dian Division, who was called up some 4 months ago to head the government of President Paul Biya. Chief Dr. Dion Ngote made several stops on his way to Buea, with the Tiko roundabout being the first stop. After Tiko, the next stop was Putengene and then OIC Market in Buea. At each stop, the Prime Minister reassured the population of the willingness and commitment of the head of state to find lasting solutions to the Anglophone crisis.
For peace mission, not be so. Papa Biya sent me.
Despite calls from separatists for a total boycott during the Prime Minister's visit, the population of Tiko and Buea turned out massively to give the Prime Minister a befitting welcome. Interestingly enough, the population brandished placards demanding for immediate peace and return to normalcy. The civil society and activists were not left out, with the Southwest Women Task Force lamenting in front of the Prime Minister.
Now that we heard he was here, we could not just sit in the comfort of our parlors and listen. So we had to come here and on the streets of Goya and tell him of our suffering. The first thing is that there are still many of our people in the bushes. There are many of our children in the bushes. Many are dying. Children are being born in the bushes. There are many of our children in prison, and we want that the Prime Minister should help us tell the government of Cameroon to release those children. We have suffered for 3 years. Our children have not gone to school. Our children have not been able to do anything. We are here, even to go to the market, it is very difficult. Because you leave your house, you look on the street is empty, and you are just crying how you can get food for your family. That is why we are here.
For 4 days, the Prime Minister will be granting audiences to various stakeholders to charter a way forward for peace to return to the region.
Lange, Manibela. Nous sommes tous bilingues aujourd'hui, non?
Music is food for the soul, and like every other country, Cameroon is well represented in music and entertainment. In the late 90s and early 2000s, Cameroonian music was more of Bikutsi and Makossa, music genres which many think made Cameroon unique. With the passing of time, things have drastically changed with the introduction of new trend of Afro-pop, hip-hop and dancehall in the Cameroon music scene. The new generation musicians in Cameroon have however changed the style of Cameroon music. According to them, they sing for the younger generation who constitute the bulk of their market. But then, whatever happened to the messages music carries? Our stars seem to have forgotten about the messages, and the quest for quick sales have made them stray away from the whole course.
They are mostly youths that are into music now, and they are quite talented. But the main problem is, I think, is at the level of production or something. They don't have people who believe in their music that much. So it's making it difficult, and they all love music, they want to get into it, but they need some, how can I say, they need to be canalized, they need to work with people that are more experienced in the music field. Yeah, the old, it's like, it's true, it's a new generation. The old people too had their own say, they did everything good. But I feel more talent with the new generation.
Les jeunes artistes camerounais, j'apprécie la musique camerounaise, j'apprécie la culture camerounaise. Ce qu'il faudrait faire en retour, c'est la reconnaissance par l'État, de faire quelque chose pour ces jeunes talentueux. Donc, demandons de l'aide à toute l'administration en général pour pouvoir valoriser cette culture camerounaise afin que chacun puisse trouver son compte.
Je sens qu'auparavant, quand quelqu'un s'est donné dans la chanson, c'est parce qu'il avait l'amour du métier. Mais quand il regarde les artistes aujourd'hui, je sens que l'argent vient d'abord avant tout. Oui, c'est tout ce que j'ai à dire.
It is undeniably true that these poor messages have affected the minds of our young ones, directly or indirectly. By constantly listening to such, their minds cultivate these thoughts, which manifest into the very poor, obscene things we find in our societies today. Music should relate with the soul and relate a circumstance that can be of positive impact. Perhaps the reason why these songs are not remembered after a couple of years is because they lack a message that can be referred to at all times. Our moral standards have greatly fallen. The quest for stardom is not an excuse to adopt negativity.
As the Cameroon's Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph John Gute makes his maiden visit to Kumba, Southwest Region, preparations are on high gear, spearheaded by the Meme authorities and political elites. Streets have been given facelift. The Kumba grandstand has been painted, and the Commonwealth Avenue now looks a bit beautiful. On major areas in the city, banners are planted announcing the PM's visit. Since he was appointed PM 5 months ago, His Excellency Chief Dr. John Gute will be heading to his homeland this Thursday, 16th of May 2019, crusading for peace and unity. Expectations are high, just like in the Northwest region, where he stated that the government is ready to dialogue for peace.
I think that if he has decided to come to the Southwest region, to come and clamor for peace, to come and preach peace, I think that should be highly welcomed by everybody, because we have suffered a lot and we need that peace. And I think that he should also come to...
Many are expecting the PM to deliver the same message here, but some say the PM's message crusading for peace may become hypocritical if the government forces continue to shoot at what many consider as Ambazonia forces who are fighting for a cause they believe in.
Far from it, far from it. What Dangote is doing is what the state is doing, representing the state. They are doing escapism. They are escaping from the core element. They are not telling us how refugees who are overseas, who are in the neighboring Nigeria are taken care of. They are not telling us how people whose homes have been burned, several villages have been burned, will have their villages remade.
In a crisis situation like this, there is no option that is being minimized. So I want to say what the Prime...
In Kumba, committees have already been created to prepare for the PM's visit. This comes after an enlarged planning meeting organized by some Meme elites headed by the former Minister of Justice, His Excellency Chief Justice Benjamin Etue. However, while the elite class and the Meme administration prepare for the PM's visit, there are fears that the event might be greeted by ghost towns, just like any other event organized by the state and political elites. Let's wait and see how the John Gute's theorem works for peace in Cameroon. Situated over 3.5 kilometers from the green city of Kumba is Kaketu in Kumba 1 subdivision. It has been greatly hit by the current crisis in the northwest and southwest regions. Before now, the cosmopolitan village used to play host to close to 7,000 inhabitants ruled by His Royal Majesty Chief Dr. Ndome Samuel Mukwele. The village was seriously affected when houses were burnt to ashes and so many people were killed and others missing during clashes between the restoration forces of Ambazonia and the pro-government forces. Business places have been put to a standstill and agriculture has been affected since most inhabitants here have fled to the cities for fears of the unknown. From this view, one will see traces that life used to be animated here, but presently, these places are all covered by grass since nobody finds comfort again to live in this stretch because of the continuous gun battle. Since the village was purely for agribusiness, farmers who bought taxis to this place find it risky and dash immediately to the bush as they alight from the vehicles. School structures are now occupied by stray animals. Meanwhile, the lone government health center is not functioning because the site was transformed into a battleground. Kaketu before now was earmarked to host the University of Technology and the largest food market in Meme Division due to its proximity to the farms and the city of Kumba. It is also the largest village in Kumba 1 subdivision, having over 12 quarters with quarterheads who have fled to other towns as internally displaced persons. Looking at Kaketu, it is clear that life is not favorable since nobody lives here again except the few stray animals and those who use this road to and from the Indian division.
Une famille est une communauté de personnes réunies par les liens de parenté existants dans toutes les sociétés humaines, selon l'anthropologue Claude Lévi-Strauss. Elle est dotée d'un nom, d'un domicile et crée entre ses membres une obligation de solidarité morale venant du mariage religieux ou une obligation matérielle, notamment entre époux d'une part et parents et enfants d'autre part, censée les protéger et favoriser leur développement social, physique et affectif.
Oui, en quelque sorte, je peux dire que la famille est la source de mes inspirations. Pourquoi? Parce que toutefois que je me lève le matin, j'ai le devoir de pouvoir assurer leur protection. Ça veut dire que tout ce qu'ils ont besoin en longueur de journée. Pas seulement en longueur de journée, au quotidien. Oui.
Si cette notion est universelle, le nombre de personnes qu'elle inclut ou la solidarité accordée est variable. C'est même une notion centrale dans la culture. Le 20 septembre 1993, l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies a décidé que le 15 mai de chaque année marquerait la Journée internationale des familles selon la résolution 47/237. La Journée internationale, c'est l'occasion de mieux faire connaître les questions relatives à la famille ainsi que les processus sociaux, économiques et démographiques qui affectent les familles. La Journée internationale des familles a inspiré une série d'actions de sensibilisation, notamment au niveau national, dans les nombreux pays. Cette journée offre l'occasion de mettre en lumière différents points d'intérêt et d'importance pour les familles.
Vous savez, hier c'était tellement facile pour nos parents de le faire. En tant que chef de famille aujourd'hui, je pense que on peut plus seulement compter sur soi, parce que la situation actuelle, chacun devrait être chef de famille, mais il y en a d'autres qui fuient ses responsabilités parce que peut-être financièrement ça ne va pas. Donc je dirais, je ne vais pas forcément rejoindre celui qui a dit l'argent fait le bonheur, mais je dirais on a aussi besoin de ce côté pour accompagner ce projet qui est la famille. Donc aujourd'hui, c'est pas vraiment facile, on se bat pour pouvoir joindre le but.
Être un chef de famille ne relève donc plus d'une simple suite généalogique, mais aussi d'un pouvoir économique qui accompagnerait les responsabilités qui incombent ce dernier. Cette journée malheureusement peu connue dans les ménages camerounais permet de saluer les efforts de ceux qui portent cette grande entreprise qu'on appelle famille. Bonne célébration à tous et à toutes.
Le beat, Lange, Manibela. Nous sommes tous bilingues aujourd'hui, non?
La révolution du monde musical prend de plus en plus de l'ampleur. Depuis quelques années déjà, on observe une poussée exponentielle de nouveaux artistes musicaux qui émergent non seulement en termes de popularité, mais aussi et surtout talentueusement parlant. La grande question qui se pose aujourd'hui est celle de savoir si ces artistes qui poussent jour après jour comme des champignons ont une influence positive sur le public en général, parlant ici du message qu'ils véhiculent dans la plupart de leurs chansons et aussi de leur apparence quand on sait que l'être humain est facilement influençable du fait de ce qu'il voit et de ce qu'il entend. D'après le public aujourd'hui, de manière générale, la nouvelle génération de musiciens ou chanteurs camerounais n'a pas su conserver l'éthique musicale autrefois mise en valeur par les patriarches de la musique. Aujourd'hui, la dépravation des mœurs, l'indécence et les messages vidés d'instruction et de bonne moralité sont les caractéristiques premières des chansons de nos jeunes artistes.
Les jeunes artistes camerounais, j'apprécie la musique camerounaise, j'apprécie la culture camerounaise. Ce qu'il faudrait faire en retour, c'est la reconnaissance par l'État, de faire quelque chose pour ces jeunes talentueux. Donc, demandons de l'aide à toute l'administration en général pour pouvoir valoriser cette culture camerounaise afin que chacun puisse trouver son compte.
Je sens qu'auparavant, quand quelqu'un s'est donné dans la chanson, c'est parce qu'il avait l'amour du métier. Mais quand il regarde les artistes aujourd'hui, je sens que l'argent vient d'abord avant tout. Oui, c'est tout ce que j'ai à dire.
They are mostly youths that are into music now, and they are quite talented. But the main problem is, I think, is at the level of production or something. They don't have people who believe in their music that much, so it's making it difficult. And they all love music. They want to get into it, but they need some. How can I say? They need to be canalized. They need to work with people that are more experienced in the music field. Yeah, the old, it's like, yeah, it's true, it's a new generation. The old people too had their own say, they did everything good. But I feel more talent with the new generation.
Malgré le talent reconnu et apprécié de ces jeunes artistes, il n'en demeure pas moins que ceux-ci doivent pouvoir joindre l'utile à l'agréable. Il s'agit ici de revenir à l'essence même de la musique s'ils souhaitent avoir une influence positive et surtout productive sur le public qui l'entend et l'observe.
You're watching Prime on My Media Prime. We are going to continue our discussions on the area formula United Nations Security Council meeting that held some days back on Cameroon, looking at what those who took part in the meeting presented as submissions. We have just been joined by Barrister Modi Jude, whom we announced was caught in traffic. He had to park the car. You finally came on a bike.
I had to park the car and take a bike.
We are glad to have you. We're going through what the other nations had said, and Russia says they don't want the international community to interfere in Cameroon's internal affairs. Also proposing that the African Union and other organizations within Africa should be given the opportunity to handle the issue.
Yes, they are correct to an extent, but I will have to maintain that for them to set other regional groupings like CEMAC. I have to start from CEMAC, the AU, which is the umbrella body, to try to solve the problem before it gets to their level. I think they are partly right, but to an extent you see that the AU is reluctant in intervening, because if you look at the composition of AU, you will find that all the member states, all the head of states that constitute the AU, they both have dirty files. So it will be so challenging for them to point fingers at their fellow partner in crime. I refer to them as partners in crime because they are both, all of them are doing one and the same thing. If you go to Nigeria, if you go to Ghana, you find people are suffering. And how will it look like for a man whom you are both into crimes, advising you on solving your own in your house? So you see that the AU will be very limited because they know themselves. For our head of state having ruled for over 36 years, he knows all the young presidents that have come up. What would they be telling him about governance? He should be the one teaching them how to govern and not them telling him. So I think we expect the superpowers to come in, but we should not allow them convert our land into a battlefield like they are doing in Syria. They should only limit themselves into helping the government of Cameroon solve the problem. Because if you look at it very well, China is supplying military weapons to Cameroon, and what they are using to fight Boko Haram and the separatist fighters are the same weapons. America is supplying weapons. Israel is training our military. So if Russia is a very big market, in fact Russia is a big supplier of weapons. So if we are not careful, they will convert our country into a battlefield in order to supply weapons. But we encourage them to come in peacefully and help our government, help us only solve the problem.
Okay, they should help us solve our problems. China says that the international community should not interfere like Russia did with, and claims that Cameroon is capable of solving its internal problems.
Yeah, it's true. The government lacks the political will.
Okay.
For 3 years, the government is only acting now because of pressure. The European Union is very clear. They want dialogue with no conditions attached to it. The American Congress is very clear. Other partners are very clear. I was just reading something before entering the